seen so many people, individuals, doing small things. And when you summarize all together, we are already doing a great job. And I really believe the small things count the same. So we cannot leave it to United Nations Environment Program or the government. We need really a movement from down. So we have really to start with ourselves. Now, another example I like to show today is this push bike. It's still the most efficient and best push bike on this planet. The maximum speed is 120 km. It's invented by a polytechnic institute in Switzerland, and the technology is also just outstanding. You need to run it, actually, you need a solar panel about the size of this whiteboard, and you have to connect it in Switzerland in normal use about 2 hours a day. Now in the frame you have a battery, and the pedaling system is so efficient that the battery helps you first to speed up on the highway, let's say, and then the pedaling system is so efficient that you can keep the speed. When you're living on a hill, going down to your university, the pedaling system will produce electricity and charge back to the battery so that you can use this energy when you go back home after school or university. So also here in transportation we have solutions, we have only to use it. And we just came from Bali, where we have had a lot of motorcycles in the roads and streets there. So I guess in about 5 or 6 years from now, the air pollution will be much less than now. So it's actually just becoming a trend, this kind of technology in Europe. Now that's a little bit the situation when we go into schools teaching the children about climate change, but we show them all the good examples we encountered, and we show them also how beautiful our planet still is. Then they go and they normally draw their solutions, and that's a drawing contest where we have an annual prize for the best ones. They are printed on postcards, they are publications of United Nations and so on. So we understand us as TOPtoTOP also as a platform for these young people to spread out their ideas. Now, after Switzerland, we have thought, okay, now we have to go global, and we needed somehow a route where we go. Now, on our planet you can be very fast lost, you know. So it's really difficult when you're in Singapore to think in which country I go next. So you can go to India, to Malaysia. It's a little bit difficult. So we decided to just do a world record, going always to the highest mountain in each continent. And the reason why is that we cover all climate zones. So as you know, the climate is different in Antarctica than in Africa, so in longitude, but the climate is also different in altitude. So every 100 meters you climb up, the temperature drops about 0.65 degrees Celsius. And like this, when you really like to go in all climate zones, you have also to climb. Now, because we like to do that for our climate, we decided to do it without a motor, and that's a little bit the world record. And for us, that's really important when we talk to school children, or like now today. I think we are much more authentic, and we also act, we don't talk only. So at the expo yesterday, there were a lot of people acting, researchers, people that innovate new things, like Marco with Swiss Pro here in Singapore. But there are still a lot of people that just talk and don't act. So I hope that you are actors. but I see in your face that you are. So let's go once on the expedition. I cannot tell you all the stories now, what we experienced. When you like to have these stories, then there's just a book now out. You will find it for sure on Amazon, or remember this DVD where you can have a little bit more stories about the expedition. But the start was quite hard. So we were sailing over the Atlantic Ocean. The boat was a gift of a climbing customer of mine, and he gave us only the mast, the sails, and the hull, with the deal that we have to outfit the boat, and after the expedition that we have to sell the boat and give him the money back, and that we have to insure the boat in case we sink, that he has still the money back. So on the ocean, suddenly all the cables holding the mast were collapsing, and we nearly lost the mast. And that's the motor of a sailing boat. It's really bad that happens in the middle of the Atlantic. So we have had, luckily, a lot of climbing ropes, and with these ropes we were able to support the mast. And we made it then to Barbados. Now, in that time, we didn't have had a major sponsor like Victorinox or SGS testing company, and we ended up cleaning dishes in a restaurant because I couldn't find work as a mountain guide, and as a nurse, so there was no hospital around on this island. So we ended up cleaning dishes. And I think that's also a very important picture for you today. We struggled really a long time, the first 3-4 years. We tried sometimes 30-40 times till we have had a result. And what I've seen today is that a lot of young people, they have wonderful ideas, maybe a really great business idea at university, but then they try only once or twice and then they give up for their whole life, and that's a pity. So when you can promise me today that you also try at least 50 times, that would be the best gift you can give me today. So remember that. Now, on the way, we have had a lot of help from just people giving us fruits and food. And we came to islands, they are really low. What do you think it's a problem of silence when you think on climate change? You have a certain idea, yeah? They will disappear, huh? So we are talking here about sea level rising. Now these Indians, they are the Kuna Indians, they are living on 365 islands, and in 2004, when we have been there, already on 60 islands, the people have to leave their islands, and they go to islands that are still above sea level,